How's everybody doing? Your boy here, Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up, and that was one heck of a five-way match, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. It's time to talk about NXT TakeOver In Your House 2. And as good as the wrestling was, it seems like what's grabbing everyone was the exact end of the show. That has included me leaving a bit depressed off of, but we're going to get there. Let's talk about the show first. Kickoff, can't think of anything too important on the kickoff. The usual talking. When it comes to the actual show, though, I feel like this was about as predictable as we expected. Did that make it bad? Depends on your point of view, but let's go through the matches. First off, we had the winner-take-all six-man tag team match for the Tag Team Championships and the North American Championship. Bronson Reed and MSK, Nash Carter and Wes Lee, defending against Legado del Fantasma. This was a good little match. There wasn't really any point during, though, that had me thinking, oh my goodness, Reed, MSK, they're going to lose. No, this is it. It's done. Nope, not a single point. It was the finish that kind of made up for things feeling slow, sluggish, debatably. Escobar went and grabbed the North American title. For some reason, decided to dead stare and growl at the camera, and then Reed completely took him out through a barricade and some fencing area. That was a heck of a good spot. And Mendoza, poor boy, he got himself 3-on-1. Reed hit him with the big splash. 1, 2, 3, championships retained in good fashion. And honestly, for most of this match, it was the faces in control for it. It was strange, because we've seen Escobar and his lads pull so many cheaps. This could have been teased more, but it wasn't. Not a bad opener, though, but nothing to write home about. And that would unfortunately apply to the second match on the card. This is where I don't like to get negative about TakeOver, but Mercedes Martinez and Xia Li, it was a miss. Didn't do it for me. Wasn't anything too special. I was really hoping that Xia would just completely bury Mercedes with this gimmick. I was also hoping there'd be more to it, considering we hadn't seen her for a while, especially her entrance, but she comes out, she waves a weapon around that never does anything in the actual wrestling match. And after a bit of a struggle back and forth, Boa barely interfered. He pulled Xia out of the ring at one point and stood between Mercedes, but that didn't really change the control of the match. Xia just got her twisting kick, which basically is a poor version of Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. At least Xia Li won, and afterward tried to attack Mercedes, but I guess we sort of got our first glimpse of Mei Ying. She got out of her chair, she grabbed Mercedes around the throat, and Mercedes sold a bit, and then Mei Ying sort of just threw her into the barricade, and that was it. This wasn't TakeOver worthy. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't get any satisfaction really out of it. And honestly, they should have had the tornado tag scheduled for this week fill this spot. Ciampa Thatcher against the Grizzled Young Veterans is way worthy and much more dependable of chaos for the TakeOver feeling than this match was. I'm not really going to blame any of the competitors. It's more a matter of what I like to see and what should and should not be booked on a TakeOver card. And frankly, Veterans and Ciampa and Thatcher would have looked better here. So have to take an L for that one in my eyes. Let's move on. We came back strong because the ladder match between Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, I seriously underestimated them going into this. I was thinking with these two in it, this would be more of an old school style ladder match. It would be more about rushing up to win rather than the crazy spots. But no, these men took some serious bumps in this match. A freaking neck breaker when the ladder was set up side to the floor. That was insane. People being thrown into them, suplexed into them, Germaned into them, and the finish where Grimes got shoved off. Clearly the ladder was meant to break, but it didn't, which looked way more painful. Oh, I gotta give Knight and Grimes some much needed credit. I was hesitant about a ladder match being for this feud. Y'all crushed it. Big respect due to those two. And in the end, I think they went with the right call. LA Knight did win. He got the $1 Million championship. This, I'm hoping, will humble Grimes more, get him as a full-on face to the crowd. There's going to be no more 50-50 on that, I'm hoping. So Grimes will hopefully chase it into the summer and eventually get it with a full packed crowd. That's what I would love to see come out of this. But as far as right now, congrats to LA Knight. That's your first real big deal in NXT moment. It may not be something official. $1 Million championship has come a long way though, man. If your name's going to be with it, you should be pretty damn proud. Good stuff, good stuff. Women's championship match up next. Ember Moon challenging Raquel Gonzalez. Good match. Like the way it was structured. Good to see Shotzi back. I'm glad we're not keeping her off TV any longer. But this was, I would still say, the most predictable match of the card. Ember had chances. She hit the Eclipse, but Dakota put Raquel's foot in the rope. Not happening. And then finally Raquel was able to get her up for her version of a powerbomb. The one-arm powerbomb, I guess. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, my eye is really bothering me right now. I have no idea what's going on. Usually the mask will cooperate enough that I don't need to touch it the whole video, but... And maybe my brain's just growing. But back to the match. Raquel got her with that powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Still the women's champion, Raquel Gonzalez. I can't see anyone knocking her off her perch anytime soon. She's just crushing people left and right. If there's one thing I can criticize, I think Raquel should have kicked out of an Eclipse. She has that much momentum right now that would have looked even better on her record. But hey, we make mistakes, move on. 5-way NXT Championship match. Oh my gosh, it was good to hear that crowd go crazy for the favorites again. Oh my goodness. First of all, Johnny coming out first with the Shawn Michaels garb. Or at least Shawn Michaels inspired garb. That was fantastic. Great pops for him. O'Reilly. Dunn, who made some very strange white choices that night. Adam Cole, baby. And Karrion Kross. This is the first time I think I've seen an audience react to Kross, and it wasn't that great, really. Maybe it had to do with just more of the best in this match that they're used to. There were tons of Johnny Wrestling chants, Adam Cole chants, Bruiserweight chants. Like, they were full into their favorites again. That was what I was happy to see the crowd back for. This felt more of a real crowd than anything at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. We'll see how it works. I personally have gotten so used to Kross that he is up there for one of my favorite NXT people right now. He crushes people. He's got one of the best entrances. I have been happy to get used to him. He's one of my favorites. I'll admit that. Match itself, oh, just the structure of it. Oh my gosh, some of the Gargano spots at the beginning were just fantastic. Everyone had their close chances. And, oh, you teased me so bad with that finish, man. Oh, after everyone had their chances. Everyone had their chances. O'Reilly got the knee from the top rope. He was going to win. But Cole freaking ruined it, even though O'Reilly was able to get him in some kind of leg lock. And, oh, I thought he was going to tap. I thought Cole was going to tap. I thought this was going to be it for O'Reilly. But then Kross reemerges from the depths. He puts on that choke on O'Reilly, who finally let go of Cole. Passed out for Karrion Kross to retain the NXT Championship. Good call. Heck of a finish. If I can criticize again, and to be fair, I have a bit for this one. O'Reilly should not have been the one to take the fall. He feels like the one we're really going to build to winning the NXT Championship, either this year or the next. I don't like that he lost. If anyone could have, I think Cole would have been worthy to take it again just because he's the one that's been targeting Kross of late. He got his shot on him on the last NXT building up to the show. This would have been good for Kross to get some good revenge on him by beating him. So O'Reilly taking it sort of threw me off, but great match. Y'all need to see it if you haven't. It is a masterpiece of a wrestling match. But we're not done, are we? Because end of the show, I was thinking something was going to happen. Is the Demon Finn Balor going to return to challenge Kross for a third match, I should say? Is someone coming back? Rumors of Samoa Joe and Keith Lee were sort of circulating. We cut back to Regal, who appears to be leaving the building, followed by an interview. I think it was Mackenzie, Regal, as great as he was, seemed like he'd had enough and said it's time for some change around here. And that, unfortunately, is the biggest tease that William Regal is retiring from his general manager position and possibly all of wrestling entirely. That stung. Regal has just been one of those guys you can depend on for top quality in any position you give him. Anything. Including probably the most stable general manager of all time for a wrestling show. Because Regal doesn't make the show at all about himself, but he gets in there enough so you can appreciate and enjoy him as a character. I'm going to be really sad to see him go. He's one of the best. He never disappoints. You give him anything, he'll turn it into gold. I'm going to miss you, Regal. Thank you for being one of the best things in wrestling. I'll say it. He's one of the best things in wrestling in general. I don't know what's next for him. I'm curious to see who replaces him. If any of you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I haven't really thought enough about it. I think the depression really is just sitting in first that I'm going to lose Regal for my views. But that was the go-home shot for TakeOver. Something. There's always something with these takeovers, and in this case, it was a bit more personal than I expected. We'll see what we get next. But that's it. Thank you all, guys, so much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys this week. Remember, new camera coming for some of my scratch-off videos. We're going to be finishing up that bundle of the $250 Blast tickets. Going to be a fun time. We'll see if we can get any more from that stack. We got the 250 winner already. We'll see what we get this time. Ha ha! Have a great rest of your day, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all in another video. Keep it real.